Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Storytime Society. I'm your host Jamie, and I'm so happy you're here. I'm so glad you're alive. Thanks for tuning in to another episode. Sorry, oh my god, every time I drink Coke Zero, I end up burping in the first 5 seconds. But the theme of this episode is Off My Chest. So you guys said you liked this and this theme, and so I'm gonna keep doing it. But every time you like a theme, seriously, let me know in the comments because I'll keep doing it as many times as you guys want. And because obviously it gets hard after like having to do so much content. I do 5 videos a week on here, and then I do one on Patreon, which if you guys want extra content, the Patreon is linked below. And I seriously love you guys so much, to all my Patreon members. I appreciate you guys so much. Obviously, any support really helps, and even just being on here and watching me and commenting and liking and subscribing is amazing, and I am so thankful. But anyways, the first title of the first story is I caught my husband wearing my clothes and cheating on me with a man. I, 31 female, have been married to my husband, 35 male, for 5 years. We've been together a total of 8. I thought we had a solid marriage. Not perfect, what marriage is, but solid. I've always found him funny and charming, and he's well liked by everyone we know. We had a lot in common. We were both very career driven, and we supported each other in our hopes and dreams. Like, I saw him as my soulmate, truly. Last month, I left work early one day. My last meeting got canceled, and I figured I'd beat traffic, grab his favorite Chinese takeout, and surprise him. I texted him that I'd see him later, but didn't mention that I would be home early. He normally works remotely ever since the pandemic. He only goes to work in person maybe once a week, if that. When I came home, I walked into a surreal nightmare. My husband was wearing nothing but my bra and thong that he took from my hamper, completely stretching them out, and he was kneeling in front of a man I did not know at all, giving him oral. Neither of them saw me at first. I think I just stood there in shock for a few seconds. They heard me breathing because I started to hyperventilate. The man my husband was pleasuring looked uncomfortable, apologized, and left right away. I backed up out of the room, and without even fully thinking, I pulled out my phone and started to record a video. I just felt so unsafe and crazy. Like I couldn't even believe what I was looking at. Like my brain had to document it just to prove that it was really happening. He rushed over to me, trying to grab the phone, and started to cry, and I told him not to touch me. I remember saying that very clearly. I left, and he desperately wanted me to stay to talk things out. I ended up going to Target and bought a bunch of new clothes and underwear because I didn't want to go back to that apartment to get anything at all. I've been staying at an Airbnb ever since. I still can't go back to that apartment or look at the video that I recorded. We've only spoken a few times since. He's been texting me, emailing me, calling me nonstop for weeks. Not to apologize in any meaningful way, but to beg me not to tell anyone. He's terrified I'll share the video or the photos I took. Terrified that I'll ruin his life. He says he wants a quiet, amicable divorce because we don't need to make this uglier than it already is. I haven't told anyone, not even my parents, not our mutual friends, not even my best friend. I've been carrying this alone because even after everything, my weak, pathetic self doesn't want to humiliate him. I don't want to be the person who blows up someone's life out of vengeance, and even though I'd probably be justified, I'm grieving something I thought that I had. Someone I thought I knew, and I'm doing it alone in a rental house. It really hurts. I feel like a total fool, a complete idiot. I'm still humiliated. I'm not angry that he's gay or bi or into men or into lingerie or whatever the hell this was. That's not the issue. I'm angry that I was lied to, that I was used, and now I'm left holding silence. I'm not posting this for sympathy. I guess I just don't want to be invisible anymore. I want to say it out loud, even if no one reads this. Okay, well, I mean, I do. Obviously, that's like literally such a hard situation to go through. I mean, just like walking into a cheating situation is sounds like my worst motherfucking nightmare, to be so real. Like genuinely, I can't even imagine, and that just sounds awful and just yuck. I would go insane, truly. But anyways, I do like I think it's really great that you are keeping silent because obviously this is such a bigger situation than just like he was cheating on you, right? Because in that case, I'd be like, send the video, girls. Send the video to everyone. I mean, I know that's like revenge porn or whatever, but I'd be like, girl, get that video and show all your friends, your family, your coworkers, your boss, like everyone. But in this situation, obviously, it's such a different situation because clearly he's not comfortable with who he is and he's not comfortable with his identity, and he obviously hasn't accepted it fully. And obviously that's not for you to tell. Like, the only person that has the ability and should have the right to say that about himself, like to speak, whether he's bi, whether he's gay, whether, whatever his identity is that he identifies with, it's him. Like, that is his voice, that is his thing to share. So I do think it's great that you're not telling anyone that. Like, I applaud you for that, because some people aren't that kind, and some people would not even care and not take that into consideration, and that can really be so traumatic. And obviously he caused a traumatic situation for you, but like, I don't know, it's just a lot, like, deeper conversation to think about. But I think that you need to at least tell your family or tell your friends, like, he cheated on you, and you have proof, and you don't have to show them or anything. Just leave it at that. Like, no one should be forcing you to do anything. But I feel like you saying, I walked in on him cheating on me, I took a video of it, I have proof, would be just enough to at least let them know, and then let them be there to support you, because you obviously need someone to support you. And then, like, if you have access to it, then get a therapist, and you can tell your therapist everything, because patient confidentiality, HIPAA. So that would probably be the best place to start. And then maybe your ex will end up coming out. Maybe he won't, but that's his journey. I understand being angry. I would be so angry. I would be literally so devastated and angry. And also just to, like, have him being, not even apologetic for it. It's fine if you don't want to get back together, and it's fine if you don't resonate with that relationship anymore. Obviously, it's not fine to cheat, but I feel like the least you could do is apologize for cheating on her. Like, you cheated on her straight up. And she walked in on it. That is trauma. That is not a good situation. And I feel like, to be like a kind person, you could at least apologize and have the decency to try to fucking apologize and make her feel better about it, even though she's probably never going to feel better about it. But let's read some comments. The top comment says, I'm glad there aren't any children in this mess. You should be able to talk to your friends about this. You need this. That something comes out eventually is unavoidable, not your problem. Reply to any questions as to why he cheated. That's all anyone needs to know. If you have access, a therapist might help you cope with this as well. I'm sorry, I can't even imagine what you're going through. Please make sure to test yourself for STDs now and in 6 months. In 6 months? What? Can STDs appear after 6 months? What? I'm scared. What? Okay, just divorce and move on. He's a cheat, and no, don't go posting or sharing the video. It would count as revenge porn, which is another can of worms you don't want to be dealing with in court, because it takes away all the cards you have in power over him. Don't try using it as leverage either. That's extortion. I don't think she was planning to. OP said, I wouldn't post the video anywhere. It was more of a defense mechanism in the moment, but you're 100% right. I agree. OP said, to be clear, I'm not posting or sharing the video. I never even considered doing that. That's what I got from that as well. Someone said, time to get an attorney. All research if your state/jurisdiction has at-fault divorce. Proof of infidelity. All the emails, texts, voicemails may be plenty. Ask your attorney. May speed up waiting periods. You need at least one person to lean on. Is there anyone in your life you can trust to not share the information and be there for you? I'm sorry he did this to you. You have a lot of years ahead of you. Feel your feelings and let yourself grieve the trustworthy man you thought he was. You will be happy again. Edited to add, get a full panel for STI and STDs and recheck in 6 months. I've never heard that in my life. I'm actually so confused. I've never heard get like a full panel and then check yourself in 6 months. I didn't know that was a thing. But also, I had to take reading recovery instead of health class in 8th grade. So maybe that's why, I was still on the sexual health class in 8th grade. Because I couldn't read, apparently. Sorry. Someone said, I seriously hope this is a troll. And OP said, I wish. Yeah, that this person said, Jesus, I can imagine this was very traumatic, so please look after yourself. Talk to someone if you need to, but for your own sake, don't go seeking revenge by posting these videos. Guys, she's not posting the videos. She's not posting the videos. She literally like made that pretty clear in the post itself that she wasn't going to do that and that she just recorded for her own safety. I hope that's crazy because that she posted that like 12 or something hours ago. So I really hope that she like I don't know. It's so sad to like see things in real time because obviously there's like such a long journey ahead to grieve that situation and try to get over it. And that's just such a traumatic situation. There's like a lot of healing that needs to happen. Okay, the title of the next story is I Don't Miss My Sister and Everyone Thinks I'm Grieving. My sister died a year ago. Drunk driver, middle of the night, gone instantly. She was 24, beautiful, kind, everyone loved her, the golden child, the angel. At the funeral, I gave a eulogy. People told me it was moving. They hugged me, cried on me, said that I was so strong, so brave. But here's the truth I can't say out loud. I don't miss her. I don't even feel sad. If anything, I feel free. My sister made my life hell. No one saw it, not our parents, not her friends, not the teachers who adored her. She wore sweetness like armor, like a weapon, but behind closed doors, she made me feel like nothing. She picked me apart, made fun of my body, told me I was stupid, weird, a burden. She once convinced me to tell her my biggest fear just so she could use it against me later in front of people I liked. She said I was too sensitive. She laughed when I cried, called me the backup kid, said if I died first, she'd wear red to my funeral because black's too boring. I tried to tell people once. They never believed me, said she was just teasing, that she loved me, that I was just imagining things. So I shut up. I let the lie live, let her be the saint, and now she's gone, and I pretended to be broken. I let people think I'm devastated, but the truth is, I sleep better, I breathe easier, there's a quiet in my life that I never had before, and I hate myself for feeling this way, but I don't wish that she were still here, and I don't think I ever did. Edit, I just want to thank everyone for the support. I really appreciate it. All the comments have helped me out a lot. Hi guys! Sorry to interrupt, but if you want extra content weekly, go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/storytimesociety. If you want to listen on Spotify because you're trying to fall asleep or you're driving, then head to the link in the description. And if you're there and you don't mind, please rate me 5 stars on there. It really helps with the algorithm. And then the last thing is we have a subreddit linked below. We have a lot of things linked below, but the subreddit, you can share any stories that you want to share. Okay, thanks. Love you guys. I'm sure that's a very confusing feeling to feel. Like, obviously knowing that this is your sister and you feel like you need to be sad, but then at the same time feeling free and feeling relieved that she's gone is just like a whole other situation and just is such like a contradictory feeling. And that sounds honestly, I don't know, like it almost sounds worse than actually just grieving a person because I feel like there'd just be an internal battle of like, oh, am I a terrible person because I'm not grieving my sister? And then also, I feel so relieved. I'm so glad that she's not here to like pick me apart, to tear me down, and to be a terrible person to me. I mean, to me, it's crazy that like someone can truly hide behind a facade so well that nobody believed you that she wasn't a great person to you. It's interesting because I feel like there had to have been someone like any of her friends that saw her guard down in this way and saw her that she maybe wasn't the best person unless she truly was like didn't let anyone that close to her. I don't know. That's hard. That's a hard situation to go through. Some of the comments, I get it. It's okay. Just change the subject and refuse to engage when they bring her up. Even with your parents, if they push, just say everyone processes things differently and I don't want to talk about it. Let them think whatever they want and fly. Hugs to you. Absolutely. Great advice. Lived my whole life with a narcissist who are cruel, are two different personas in public and how they treat those they emotionally abuse. Others don't see their cruelty because they are master manipulators. I bet you do feel relief and you're entitled to your feelings and peace you now have. I wish you the best, sweetie. It's so interesting to me because with like narcissists, I've there's one that I truly, truly like can say is a narcissist for sure that I've met. And like I'm this is like the true definition of a narcissist, this person that I know and that was in my life. And when I met him, I thought like, wow, he's so, he's so charming, he's so outgoing, he's so caring, he's so cool, like that facade, obviously. But it quickly dissipated. Like I quickly saw who he truly was after just not that long. And I never understood because the person that I knew, it was their dad. They were always talking about him in this negative manner, saying like, "Oh yeah, my dad is like, you know, he's this and that, and when you meet him, I don't know. He just painted this picture of him." So I was like afraid to meet him because I was like, I don't know how, like I'm scared of, is he going to be mean to me? Is he like a really harsh person? Is he going to say mean things to me? And then when I met him, I was like, wait, your dad is so nice. He's so cool. He really made me feel so welcome. And then quickly, like within a month, I saw who he truly was. And I don't know if that's with every narcissist. I don't know. But for me, it was a quick process. And after that, I pretty much I knew who he was, and he would put on this face and then behind closed doors would like talk shit about me to other people, and like then he would come back to me, put on this facade, and then talk shit about his family and about his wife to me, and like try to get me to feel like I'm, try to get me on his side, or try to get me to like, I don't even know. It was like the weirdest experience ever that I've literally never. It's crazy. But this person said, "You're not an asshole for not missing your abuser." Someone said, "This is what it comes down to." This is 100%. There's this attitude in Western society that if someone dies, we may never speak ill of them again. It's crap. The fact is, some people are actually awful. Not every dead person was a little angel while alive. There are people where the world is better off without them in it. And there are people where specific other people are better off without them in it. I have no idea if your sister was toxic to everyone or just you, but it's okay to say that your life is better off now that she's dead. Not everybody would understand that, though. So I suggest when people talk about her, just change the subject and say you don't really want to talk about it. I've always thought this because every single time a person dies, obviously, the first inclination to do is to be like, they were the light. They were light. They shined bright every time they walked in the room. The room lit up because they were just a light. And that's like such a common thing to say. And of course, it's true for some people. But then, like, the people that because I mean, I've had not multiple people, and it's not like, oh, I'm so glad you're dead now, but like I've had acquaintances before that have passed away. I can think of one on the top of my head, which obviously I would never say, but I can think of one that passed away, and he was very much, I don't even know what's the word, angelized. Like, what is the word for that? This made to be like an angel, and made to be was such, such a bright light in the world, when in reality he wasn't. He was a bully, and I saw and firsthand experienced it because he bullied me, and he bullied many other people that I know, and I saw him bully people. And it's just so interesting because it's like, obviously you want to think that of people that you lose, that are close to you, but not everyone was an angel when they were alive, and not everyone did light up the room when they walked in, and not everyone was the best person ever, and that's okay. And you know what? Maybe they were to you. Maybe they were the best person to you, but I feel like that doesn't take away from the other person that maybe had the completely opposite, and that was their bully. Because obviously not everyone's a bully. Like, not everyone has been a bully to someone, but obviously everyone has different experiences. People perceive people differently. Not everyone is going to perceive that person the same way, you know? And that's okay. But I really wish that it was a little bit more normalized to not obviously you're not going to go up and be like, yeah, in your eulogy, yeah, this person was a terrible person. I mean, I probably wouldn't have done a eulogy, to be honest, but obviously you're not going to do that. And you're not going to be going around to their family members actually, your son was a bully. He was literally so mean. But I don't know. I feel normalize not saying every person that died was an angel when they weren't, I think. Anyways, let's move on to the next story. This has a content warning. Violence and death is the content warning. And the title is, My brother-in-law beat up my husband after catching him perving on my sister, and now my husband wants to press charges. I am so distraught. I never would have thought anything like this would happen. This all happened a few days ago, while my husband was over at my sister and her boyfriend's house, helping them with something. I guess my brother-in-law caught my husband peeking on my sister while she was using the restroom, and it got physical. My husband left with a broken nose, black eyes, and his lip was pretty busted up. When my brother-in-law called me and told me what had happened, he asked me if I was safe and if I needed help getting away from my husband. My husband has been on a rampage, saying he's going to sue brother-in-law for assault and emotional distress and make him pay the hospital bill, which wasn't even a lot. We have great insurance, so WTF. He also claims he was just checking on her because after the miscarriage he's worried about her, but brother-in-law said he had his hand down his pants while looking into the restroom. I've been staying with a friend of mine with my daughter. What the F do I do? Divorce? Counseling? Is my sister okay? How long has he been doing this for? Am I not good enough? Am I not satisfying him? What the F do I do? Huh? No. No. First option is the only option. Divorce. Your husband is a pervert. What do you mean? You find out that your husband was wanking his meat to your sister while she's on the toilet and you say, I mean, okay. I feel bad because obviously, maybe this guy is an abuser and she doesn't know it. But it's the minute you find that out, you don't go to counseling. You divorce him and never, and get your daughter far, far away from him too. Because that is creepy, predatory behavior. I'm scared. Obviously, I don't know, the ages, but spying on someone while they're in the bathroom and wanking your you're weird. You're so weird for that. And no, that does not mean that you weren't good enough and that you aren't satisfying him. It means that he's weird. It has nothing to do with you. It means that he's a weirdo, he's a sicko, and he's a perv. That's really all that means. I know that it can be confusing and that sometimes you blame yourself for other people's behaviors, but in most instances, it's usually the person's fault and not yours. And it's, most of the time, especially in a situation like this, it is not your fault. Okay, edited to add, thank you all for the kind words. I needed the boot in the ass. Also, to clear up any confusion, read below. Counseling was his idea, not mine. He begged and pleaded for me to consider it while I was packing me and my daughter's bag to stay with a friend. It's the only reason I mentioned it. I am obviously not staying with him. I am just mourning the man I thought he was and that I've spent 10 plus years with. My sister and daughter will forever be the top priority to me, and I'll never put them in danger. And yes, I am of course going to believe the victim. Not once did I state I doubted my brother-in-law. I was in a state of shock writing this. I still feel numb, but I'm still getting my bearings together. Thank you all once again. I'm trying to find a lawyer and a place to live that can accommodate me, my daughter, and my cousin. There's a lot I need to do and get done. Any advice on the type of thing would be appreciated. Okay, the first comment says, there is no counseling in this universe that would make me want to try to repair a marriage with a man who not only fancies my sister, but actively pervs on her while he pleasures himself. Please take a good hard look at this situation. It's difficult, yes, but you know exactly what you must do. Hijacking the top comment to add this, OP. Your husband is going on a rampage to distract from getting caught. He's trying to flip the narrative to make your brother-in-law the bad guy and himself the victim. His reactions included making himself a victim, giving half-baked excuses that don't make sense. You don't check in on your sister-in-law by looking on them in the bathroom and threatening to sue to scare off those who caught him. Your brother-in-law's reaction was immediately notifying you and being upfront about the situation, including his actions, even though that included hurting your husband and making sure you were safe and okay, and that he could help you if you weren't. Their behavior is night and day. You know you need to leave. There's been countless husbands that have cheated, husbands that are pervs, husbands that murder their partners or others, etc. Hell, John Wayne Gacy was a pedophilic, cheating rapist. Okay. And he was married twice. Sure, trust your partner, but don't trust them blindly. That ring doesn't make him incapable of doing effed up shit. John Wayne Gacy is so scary. I'm scared. His overreaction seems guilt in trying to shift blame. Brother-in-law's concern for OP's safety speaks volumes. It's clear who's actually looking out for their best interests here. Don't know about everyone else, but I'm so happy that the brother-in-law caught him and gave him a token of appreciation for his efforts. Some people would have caught him and yelled and threatened. He took action, and that is so much better. Let him sue. Let's see him try that flimsy checking on her BS in court. Yeah, right. Right? Nobody wants the crap beat out of them, but I know for a fact that the healthy men I know would be like, that's what I would have done if I thought some dude was creeping around, or at least understand brother-in-law's reaction. That said, there is zero chance he got beat that badly on brother-in-law's suspicion alone. Brother-in-law saw enough to convince himself without a doubt that the beating was well earned. OP, get away from that creep. I'm scared. Yes, please, get away from him, because especially like him being a creep and you having a daughter is so concerning. And I hope that you end up getting full custody. Especially like I don't know what you can really do, cuz it's not like he I don't know what is that, what can you do about that? Can you be like he was creeping on me? I don't know. Is that like sexual harassment? I don't know the laws for sexual harassment or anything like that, but it seems like sexual harassment to me, but I don't know how that would hold up in court. But I really hope that there's some way that this lady can get full custody of the daughter and he doesn't get full custody of her, because that's really scary to me. And I really am hoping he doesn't, because he does not deserve that, and he's creepy, and I would not trust him around my daughter. Like, this is the person that you need to worry about being around your daughter for sure. The title of the next story is Tomorrow I'm Going to Ruin His Life. I've been with him for 3 years now. We planned on getting married when our lives settle down. I wanted to start a family with him. I loved him more than anyone else in this world. I've sacrificed so much for him, moved away from my home, turned down jobs so I could stay with him, and stood by his side as he started to go back to school. I gave him my world, and he cheats on me. I found out over a month ago the scumbag got cocky, and I found out he was cheating on me with 2 different women. One is a TA at his university, the other is his best friend's girlfriend. I am livid. I write this post choking back venom. I loved him so much. He was my world, but now he will be the world I burn to nothing but ash. I pay for everything since he quit his job last year to go to school. I was more than happy to help him. I make enough to support both of us. The only upside is the student loans are in his name with no connection to me. It will hurt to push the scumbag out to sea, but I will survive. I have held out for a month, enough time to create what I call the day his world burns. Tomorrow we are hosting a party I arranged for his family to come, but my family will sadly not be able to make it. I have packed everything valuable already, and the suitcase is in the back of my car. My brother will come during the event tomorrow to take the car that is in my name that the dirtbag drives to my parents' house. The joint account, which is all my money anyways, is already empty. The event will be great, and he thinks it's for us to announce our engagement to his family. What will happen in reality is I will announce my departure from his life. I have already taken a job out of state and have lined up a new place to live. I will start by telling everyone what he is into, the screenshots of him asking his friend's girlfriend to piss on him, and the many other fantasies his degenerate mind came up with will be passed around. I will hand him the notice to vacate, as I have already broken our lease. We need to be out by the end of the month. I will then end off by informing him I have already reported he was sleeping with the TA for one of his classes the previous semester to the university, and that I am sad I won't see the fallout from that. His friend also has a message for him that I will deliver, informing him that his friend group never wants to see him again as well. And with that, I will leave. I will not look back. I will set his life on fire and walk away. Edit. 2 hours and over 5K upvoted. I should have expected my story and planned to get popular. I will update once everything is said and done. Update. I have made an update. Go find it. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm scared. What the hell? This is like so poetic. I will turn his world to ash. This plan is called The Day His World Will Burn. That is actually insane and crazy. But you know what? I support women's rights and wrongs. Okay. Yesterday, I was supposed to ruin his life. I do not know. Okay, whatever. They say that hubris is the downfall of a man. Yesterday, I planned to ruin his life in front of his entire family. I worked for a month to create the scenario that would cut him the deepest. I had patiently waited for the chance to storm out of his world in a blaze of glory, and then I hit the front page of Reddit. I realized I had fucked up when he was not answering my texts and had not shown up hours after he told me he would be home. I had hoped it was a happy accident, literally a car killing him before I had the chance, but no. I don't know how many men in the world are currently cheating on their soon-to-be fiancé with their best friend's girlfriend and a TA. However, the one who mattered in my plan found my Reddit post. I called his mother and found out that he had run home to his parents. He told them we had a fight and that we were probably through. I was and still am livid at myself. His mother asked me what had happened as he left out a few details, so I decided to tell her that he was cheating on me with the TA and his friend's girlfriend. I soon heard shouting before she hung up. I texted my ex that he had until morning to return my effing car before I reported it stolen and sent the screenshots of all his texts to his parents and siblings. My car was sitting in my driveway when I woke up. I contemplated sending the screenshots anyway, but his mother sent me a heartfelt text yesterday apologizing for her son's actions, and I feel they deserve to be spared from his degenerate actions. I and my father will be moving all my stuff today, and I will not be coming back after that. I know you'll be reading this, you cheating F. You're a cowardly piece of shit. I just know I am not above sending out all the screenshots if you ever dare to come back into my life. Oh, and your ex-friends all know about your piss and scat fetish. I can't control what they do with that information, so good luck with that. It's crazy. I mean, that's crazy, but also, I don't know. It's so interesting to me how people always are like, my partner found my Reddit post, because if I posted a Reddit story about my boyfriend, like, even if it hit the front page of fucking the New York Times, he wouldn't see it. So, like, he wouldn't see it. And I don't know, I don't feel like he wouldn't think that it was me either, because maybe, I don't know, maybe it's obvious that that's her account, or maybe they shared, if he had her Reddit account and like she's told him her Reddit name before, then that's dumb. She should have made a throwaway. But like, I don't know, I feel like that was a very generalized story, and it's not like it was that crazy of a story, right? It wasn't like so detailed or anything. Well, actually, maybe like the TA and the ex and the best friend's girlfriend or whatever is a little bit detailed, so never mind. Maybe I'm wrong there. But that's actually terrible to be planning a plan. Your world, what was it? Your world is going to burn or something. The day his world is gonna burn, and then to not be able to execute it because he found out. You should have waited to post that post until after you did it. Like, you should have waited, and you could still post the same way, like, tomorrow I'm going to ruin his life or whatever. And then you could have just like posted it anyways. But you gotta be more careful, girls. If you plan on ruining his life and turning it to ash, don't post it before you do it, because God forbid he find out, right? some of the top comments. I can't lie, I expected this to backfire worse and am a bit disappointed that the original plan did not work. But oh well, you still have a chance to crumble that bastard. You can still shame both of them and basically spread those screenshots like viruses. I mean, Facebook, Instagram, stories, posts, heck, even email them out. Employers, bosses, exes, everyone you can think of. Ruin both of their lives, make them suffer. This is your chance. Take it. Be selfish for once and ruin everything of value they have left. Reputation. That's crazy. I don't know what I would do in that situation. Honestly, I would probably do something similar. I would definitely feel like would want to get revenge for sure. Especially like, ugh, yeah, I would want to get revenge. I'm so sorry to admit that, but I would. Or, and hear me out on this, OP could just do the best thing and work on moving on instead of giving the cheating F the satisfaction of knowing they still care enough about them to do all that. You know, what a reasonable person would do. What? Sorry. That would be quite few days at jail, not worth it at all. If OP is dumb enough to use an email with her name to send those screenshots, if those things weren't sent via an anonymous email, it's almost impossible to pin the blame because almost anyone would have done it. The risk slash reward of doing that probably isn't very smart, to be honest. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Screenshots of what? Like them cheating and him like talking about him wanting someone to piss on him or whatever? I don't think you're gonna like go to jail for that. Why would you go to jail for that? No, his life is already ruined. He has no own place, no friends. His affair got reported. OP should just leave and never look back. Okay, so I'll tell you what my grandma told me when I wanted to take revenge on someone. Just stand back, live as happy as you can, and do not move a finger. Because nothing you do can be worse than what people like this will do to themselves when you let them. They are trapped with themselves. You don't have to do anything for them to fall down because they will trip over themselves and you didn't have to get dirty in the first place. She was so right. That's honestly good advice. I feel like I would let myself think about it for a couple days, and if I still felt like I wanted to do it, then I would do it. I think I probably wouldn't have gone about it that way. Like it would probably be a little more sneaky than just like posting it directly to my story. I feel like maybe I would make like a fake Instagram account or something. I don't know. And post it and then be like, look here and have like a little link to all of the messages and stuff. I don't know. Maybe I wouldn't do that. I feel like in maybe if you asked me 5 years ago, I would say yes. But I feel like now I'm like a lot more healed of a person and I don't feel like I need to get revenge as much. Even though there's plenty of times I could have gotten revenge on someone and I didn't. So let me pat myself on the back for that one because there are plenty of people that I no longer speak to that I could for sure get revenge on. But I like, what am I? The thing that keeps me from doing that, actually, now that I think of it, is karma. I truly believe in karma. I truly believe in like getting what you give. Like, I've, this is just an example, but the amount of like debit cards or credit cards I've found on the ground and like would, I would never even think about using that because absolutely not. First of all, I don't know what that person's going through and like they could be literally not wanting to even live anymore and then I go and like steal all their money and then what? That's I just made a person end their lives or something, you know? Not only that, but like I don't want that energy in my life. I want to put out good energy so that I can get good energy back. And maybe that's selfish. But like I feel like that's kind of a good way to live because I feel like if you just think of all the energy that you put out as ending up back to the place that it came from, which is yourself, I feel like that's a good way to live, is just like thinking about it like that. That's how I always think about it because I'm like, I'm not about to ruin someone else's life and then end up having my life ruined because that is what happens. I honestly feel like I know a lot of people. Honestly though, I've like experienced I feel like a lot of people that didn't end up getting the karma that they deserved, but maybe it's just a waiting game for some people. But I don't know. Maybe they did and I just didn't know about it. But I'm so annoyed because I was talking about the last episode I filmed in, I was talking about something And so I'm going to try to talk about it again because the stupid ass microphone died while I was in mid talking about it. So like 20 minutes of footage I have to cut from the video. And I'm actually so annoyed because I felt like it was something that I wanted to talk about. And I don't think I've ever talked about it before, but I mean, it's nothing that crazy. But I was just talking about how, why was I talking about this? I don't remember my main point of talking about this, but like, I am a super emotional person. And I feel like to the people in my life, my exterior is like different. And it's like, I feel like in a lot of instances, people could be like, oh, she's very like calm and collected. She doesn't like, she's stable. She doesn't cry about everything, even though I for sure cry about everything, or like at least I want to cry about everything. But I am so uncomfortable sharing those emotions with other people that I always keep it down. And I think a big reason for that is because when I was growing up, my family would always, because I've always been a very emotional person. I've always been a person that cries at a lot of things, good, bad, happy, sad. Like a lot of things I would cry about, or just like talking about anything. I don't know. Sometimes I would just like have this need to cry and it would just come out and I couldn't hold it back. And my family growing up would always be like, oh, she's about to cry again. You know, oh, don't make her cry. Oh, she's going to cry, blah, blah, blah. And it was always like a very well known, like spoken out thing that I was just like a crier and I'm going to cry at everything and I'm always crying and blah, blah, blah. And I feel like my family saying that made me feel like, and I'm just like kind of guessing because I don't know. It's a subconscious thing, honestly, and I don't know the actual reason for it. But if I could guess, I feel like the reason that I push down my emotions now and I don't like to like share that side of myself with a lot of people and I don't like to be vulnerable in a lot of ways and like I don't like people seeing me cry even though it's something that is so much a part of my life is because of growing up not feeling comfortable with it because my family would constantly say things like that to me and I know that they weren't trying to do it to like scar me in the future or anything but I feel like eventually that's what ends up happening in that type of situation and yeah, I feel like that's something that I would, and I did try to work on that in therapy, but I don't think my therapist really knew, or maybe I didn't explain enough. I don't know. There's a lot of things that I feel like I could have probably been more open about with in therapy with my therapist that I wasn't as open with her about, and I kind of wish that I was, but for some reason I get embarrassed about certain things, especially talking to like a therapist about it. And that was like a barrier that I had in therapy. And I definitely think I worked through a lot in therapy, but I feel like I had this barrier where certain things I wouldn't tell her because I would be embarrassed by like maybe my actions or just by the way that I felt. And I felt like if I was admitting it out loud, that was mean that like it was true, even though it was true. But I felt like if I didn't admit it, maybe I could convince myself that's not how I really felt or that's not who I am or whatever. I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know if anyone else feels like that. But like, for example, saying like goodbye, like my mom has to leave in a couple days and I feel like I'm going to be sad, but like I don't want to cry. And maybe that's because I don't want to admit to myself that I'm sad, but I know that I'll have that like feeling in my throat that I'll have to like push down that I'm just going to like not want to feel that. And maybe it's because I cry so much that I just hate feeling that way and I don't want to feel sad anymore and like I don't want to cry, so I push it down. I don't know. I find it interesting though, and sometimes I like to overanalyze myself a little bit and think of like what caused me to be like that. Maybe how I can work on showing that side of myself a lot more, or not a lot more, but more, because I think that there is such a positive and beautiful side to emotional vulnerability. And I love when people are emotionally vulnerable with me. And I feel like it deepens relationships and friendships in certain ways. And obviously, there's like, there's a boundary or there's a line that can be crossed. It's not like I want my friend to be crying to me every single day and being like that, super emotional and just like constantly crying. But I feel like to see someone emotional and being vulnerable is like a beautiful thing, and it is like a superpower. As well as like being so empathetic and stuff, I feel like is a superpower, or just expecting or seeing the best in everyone is also like a superpower. I don't know. That's how I feel. I feel like there's a lot of things that I resonate with that explain me that I always try to push down, when in reality it's a good thing and it's a good trait, but obviously there are good and bad things. There are good and bad to every situation in good and bad ways. I don't know what I'm saying. Hello? 911. But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like in a lot of ways being so emotional and being so empathetic and always seeing the best in someone can be a really beautiful thing, but in certain situations where maybe people will take advantage of that, it can be a bad thing. And I think that goes with everything. There's always good and bad sides to everything, and even people, places, and things. But I don't know. It's interesting to think about. I'm trying to think about what else I have to say that I want to update you guys on. My mom's been here for 2 weeks today. She leaves on Wednesday, so I'm like, ugh, I don't want her to leave. It's really nice having her here because it's nice to have like company, and obviously, working from home and working alone, like not having a team or anything, it can get pretty lonely to always be working from home. So it's nice to have my mom here to keep me company. And me and Jack just enjoy having her here as well, just because it's like nice to have. She's also a very positive and bubbly person. So it's nice to have that energy around. And I always, whenever I'm around her, I'm always like, there's certain things that I'm like, oh, I wish I was more like that. And I wish that rubbed off on me more. That she's like, because she's very outgoing. She's very chatty. She's very talkative. And sometimes I wish I was like that. And I think I can be, but she's like a constant. Like that's a constant for her. And I kind of wish that would be me. Cause like, I don't know. I've always admired very talkative people and chatty people. I've always admired that about people. I wonder if that's a thing for everyone. Like, do shy people wish that they were talkative? Do talkative people wish that they were more shy? Is it like that kind of scenario where it's like, I wish you want what you can't have, or you wish that you were a certain way when you're just inherently not that way? Let me know in the comments below. If you're a shy person, or if you're like an introverted person, do you wish that you were more extroverted? Do you wish that you were less shy and more talkative? Because I'm both. And sometimes I feel like it's confusing because I feel like I don't know who I am, because one day I can be very talkative and the next day I can be very introvert and just want to keep to myself and not talk to someone as much. And obviously there's certain people that I'm way more talkative with, and then certain people that I'm not talkative with at all. And it's just an interesting dynamic. It's like a tug of war within myself. And sometimes I'm like, I wish I was more of a constant. Like, I wish I was more of one thing than both, if that makes sense. Like, maybe more just introverted so that I knew, like, this is who I am, or just extroverted so that I could be like, that's who I am. But I'm a little bit of both. And sometimes that gets confusing because I'm like, who am I? Who am I? I don't know. I don't know. I've definitely figured out a lot more like who I am than I used to, because I think I've definitely come to terms with the fact that it's okay to be both. Like, it's okay that I'm extroverted but also introverted at the same time. It's okay that sometimes my social battery is drained really quickly, and it's okay that sometimes I want to be really social and sometimes I want to be not social at all. I think it's okay. That's my conclusion at the end of this video. That's something that I should start working on, is being okay with being a little bit of both, because I get the best of both worlds. And that can be a good thing, because then you're not too much of one thing. But also, it's okay to be one or the other. It's okay. Everything's okay. Just be who you are. All right. That was a lot of rambling. I'm so sorry to your ears. If you made it this far, you know I love you for that. And also, I put out a video on my personal vlog page, which is linked below, and it's me just literally chatting like I just did, but for like 30 minutes. And let me know if you have any suggestions for what I should do on that channel. Like anything. It can be, I'm going to do a truth or drink soon. I've gotten a lot of questions on the truth or drink form. And then also, I want to do, I don't know, I don't really want to niche down on that channel. I kind of just want to do everything and anything because that's fun to me. And like, I don't want to just like have to stick to one thing on there because obviously, like on this channel, I have to stick to one thing and that's fine. And this is my podcast. I'm doing Reddit stories. But on that channel, I want to be just like I just want to do everything. And that's kind of just like the type of person that I am. I've always been like that. I've always just wanted to do everything. I've always wanted to be a million things at once. But as I've gotten older, I've definitely become like more one, like now that I have this and I'm doing this podcast, like I don't have any confusion about what I want to do in life. Like this is what I want to do in life. And I've finally feel very secure and very confident that this is what I want to do in life and I'm going to work so hard to be successful at it. And obviously there's always room for improvement and I'm always trying to improve every day and I'm always trying to grow every day. And I'm really excited to see where that takes me because now that I feel like confident in that, I feel like there's a lot of potential. It makes me hopeful for life when I just have spent a lot of my life feeling hopeless and feeling like I'm never going to figure out what I like to do and I'm never going to figure out what I love and who I want to be. And now I feel like I'm coming into that and I'm coming into my own. And it feels really nice and really good because I've just questioned for so long like, what do I like to do? Who am I? And like a big thing within my personality and within like who I am is fashion. But I did try doing that for a while and it just it was a lot. And I think that it worked out for the time that it was supposed to work out for, but it dwindled eventually. And so I feel like that just means it's not meant for me, even though obviously fashion is still a big part of my life and I still love fashion a lot and I'll still incorporate fashion a lot. And now it can be more of a hobby instead of my job, which is also really special because now like I can find even more joy out of doing it because I'm not doing it so often. But I don't know. Guys, I'm rambling. Am I okay? No. I haven't talked to you guys in a while because I haven't filmed in a while, so that's why I'm like rambling so much. But anyways, I have to go pick up Jack from work because I've been using his car, obviously, as I've told you guys, and I need to drop him off at pickleball and I just want to sit down and do some work. So that's what I'm going to do. Sit down, use some free Wi-Fi, and get my work done. And I feel like it will be nice because I'll be in that mode. Usually, like if I'm at a coffee shop, it makes me feel nice because I'm just like sitting down and then it gets me in that mode to like do everything that I need to do. And I paid my taxes yesterday. So this is a reminder, guys. Taxes are due today. So if you haven't paid them yet, do it or whatever. Not everyone has to pay. But yeah. Okay. Anyways, I love you guys. And I hope that you enjoyed this episode. Please let me know if you enjoyed this episode and let me know how you feel about all the stories or anything that I talked about, anything that I gabbed about for 7 hours. I love you and have the best day ever. Bye. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.